255 years ago, an English artist by the name of Thomas Gainsborough painted a roughly life-size portrait of who is believed to be his nephew and pupil, Gainsborough Dupont, posing as who is believed to be Jonathan Butal, the son of a wealthy merchant. The canvas he painted the portrait on stands at about 70 inches tall, which is 5'10" or 178 centimeters, roughly. Now, somewhere between then and now, another unknown artist decided to add their own flair to this Goliath of a painting by lowering the resolution and editing a kitschy skeleton face with red eyes onto the poor blue boy's face. This clearly wasn't spooky enough for them because they then copy and pasted some bat-shaped clip art around the blue boy. And now here in the year of 2025, 255 years after the original painting was painted, a third artist has decided to take this weird, crumpled and cracked print and add a little bit of his own ghoulish life into it. To start, I taped the flimsy print onto the backing of the frame that I intended to hang it in and coated it in a thin layer of matte Mod Podge to hopefully prevent the cardboard from warping much under the acrylic paint, as the cardboard was pretty thin and flimsy and already had some damage. I started with the sky in the background, matching the colors to both the print and a photo of the original painting, and basically just swirled and smushed around paint until I felt like it looked right. I covered up the bats because I planned on completely repainting them later. In the original painting, there's a bag or a rock on the ground sitting next to the boy, but when an x-ray was done in 1994, it revealed that he originally had a fluffy white dog sitting on the ground next to him that got painted over. For what reason, we may never know, but I decided that I wanted to give the boy his dog back. I went through a couple of ideas of what kind of dog to give him, a ghost dog, a skeleton dog, a zombie dog to sort of match the vibe, and I ended up settling on painting him a portrait of my dog who passed a couple of years ago, Rocky, who is one of the weirdest looking dogs I think I've ever seen. He is very scraggly and scruffy, and he has all these white wispy hairs, so I thought he would fit kind of perfect into a spooky painting. I added in the bushes and the trees next, sticking with a lot of Bob Ross-esque techniques for them, and swapping some of the green foliage for more autumnal colors to fit with the Halloween fall theme. I honestly was avoiding painting the clothing. I am not super competent when it comes to fabric and getting like the folds and shadows right. You would think that painting directly over a professional's work would help with that, but I completely fudged it up the first coat and got frustrated. I had to walk away and ended up swapping to a more layered technique like you would with maybe gouache or something. I painted in all of the darkest shadows and then worked my way up in tint and hue from there. It created a very illustrated look in the end, which is not very in line with the original style of the original painting, but I really liked the almost comic booky look that it gave. I think it also helped to tie in the goofiness of it being turned from this classic painting into more of a spooky Halloween decoration. I kept the skull face as it was. I just decided to tint it more green to make it a little bit more fun and match the kind of goofy vibe of taking a classic painting and turning it into a Halloween decoration. I also matched the hand skin tone to the face's skin tone, which was something that the mystery Photoshopper did not do. I kind of just threw in the hair. I painted it pretty quickly. I didn't spend much time on it because I was very excited to move on to the bats. I kept them mostly in the same placement, and I kept the same number of bats in the background, but I swapped the boring little plain black shapes for something a little bit more detailed. I know that vampire bats are inherently more spooky in their nature, but their faces, I think, are a little too detailed for how small I was painting, and I think it would have thrown off the whole style of the painting that I had fallen into. So I ended up going with flying foxes, which are a very classic look and are very often used in sort of like a Halloween-y portrayal. They have very distinctive faces where they look like foxes. So that's what I went with. Anyway, here is the original blue boy. Here is the boring blue boy from Coraline. Here is the spookified blue boy. And here is my finished repaint of it. I even made a custom creepy looking mat to go in the frame. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I have a lot of other art content on my channel if you want to check it out, and a lot of other spooky Halloween kind of fall content if you're interested, though I may look and sound a little bit different from then. But oh well. I promise I'm still the same weirdo. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.